a rolling tone, so
Okay.
we don't have that pressure of stopping playing. You guys just flow. Perfecto. Cuando quieran.
Okay, you got to give me that 320. Where's the little? You don't have the little.
The clapper. Okay,
Action.
we'll begin the interview in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, Disrupt Nation? My name's Tony Delgado, and here I'm with my main man, Juan Salgado. Juan, thank you so much for being here,
What's
my
up,
friend.
brother? Yeah, thanks for the invite, man.
So
Pleasure and an honor, first of all.
no, likewise, man. I've been following your journey for quite some time.
Thank you.
There's a lot of hype and there's a lot of money flowing through the cryptocurrency and now specifically the NFT space, but
Yes.
we don't have a lot of Latinos in the space. So that's why when I found your project, I was really, really excited.
Thank you, man.
Not only is the art incredible, but your story behind it is really, really interesting. So I want to deep dive into it. But before we get into your journey through the NFT space, I want to talk a bit about your journey as an artist.
Yes.
How did you get started as an artist?
Man, I've always been an artist. Since I had to use a reason, I've been doing art. I was a super shy person when I was a kid, so I think art was my way of like coping with the real world. And all of a sudden, I started gaining attention. I remember in my first grades of school, I became a little bit popular because I was the kid on the class that knew how to draw. So I saw it as an escape, basically, and I just had a passion for it since always, And I knew it since I was a little kid. I knew that was what I was gonna do. So since very early, I started educating myself. So I remember probably my first art class was at 9 or 10 because I decided I wanted to take art classes, because I knew I had a skill, I was good at it, but I also knew I had to like work on it, and get better and better and better. So basically, I studied art all my life. I started at 9. Then I joined an art high school in Puerto Rico because I remember I was in a Catholic school and I didn't like it so much, because it was like a movie, bro. Like the popularity contest and all of that. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me because I am not an athlete, and stuff like that. So I heard about this school called La Central de Arte Visuales in Puerto Rico, man, the best school here, honestly. They taught me everything I knew about art. So this is an art high school. It's a specialized public school specialized in art.
Wow.
So you take 90 minutes of art daily there. So man, I changed schools in ninth grade, I remember, and it changed my life forever. Then there I decided I wanted to do this forever. Even though I was against the current, because what in the past, like right now we have more information, but in the past, you know how it is. Like, I want to be an artist, man.
You're gonna be homeless.
You're gonna be homeless. You're gonna be hungry. So,
Yeah.
man, like knowing that, I still wanted to be an artist. First of all, I mean, I come from a conservative family, so I started my journey saying that I wanted to be an architect because it's a safe art.
Yeah,
I mean?
it's like,
It's safe because it's not safe
more
at all.
corporate than
Yeah. But in the process, I started getting deeper into the painting, into the scene, and all that. And man, I just decided like this is what I'm good at. This is what I have fun doing. So I remember in college, I went to an art college too. I used to cut classes to go to the art department. You know what I mean? So there you go, man. I mean, I just had a dream. I had a passion since I was a little kid, and I saw the light in the end of the tunnel. I went for it.
When did you transition to start doing art on skin, right? Start actually doing tattoos.
So yeah, man, I was when I was younger, I was really into like punk rock and metal, So I was into extreme games and all that, like all the punk scene, all the ramifications of it. So I'm guessing that I since I was interested in art since I was a little kid, I guess like I saw my idols, the rock stars, they had tattoos in them. So I kind of got interested in that. So I remember in high school, I used to like draw tattoos every day. Like the teachers were getting mad because I had like flames, stuff like that. So I had that interest since I was a little kid. I think probably like I told you, like from my idols, and it was super hard in the past to learn how to tattoo, man. So I mean, I don't.
I don't think they teach that in school, really, right?
No, right now they have their opening song. Their opening song, yeah. But in the past, like I'm saying, like 20 years ago, it was nearly impossible. Nearly, like you couldn't even like order stuff online unless you worked on a shop that was licensed, because you had to send the license number and all that.
Wow.
So I started first of all being a client. I started getting tattooed first, like 17, illegally, right? Because the majority of age in Puerto Rico is 21. But yeah, I did it. I got tattooed at 17. So then I started getting tattooed first. So in that process, I was kind of learning a little bit. I'm like, this is art. Like, how come there are not good artists doing this? This is art. So I remember when I started college in San Juan, I became friends with a tattoo artist in the shop in Old San Juan. And then I started like asking him a little bit and getting burst into it. But simply they didn't give you the opportunity. Like they were super like protective with that, in the past. So when they ask me how do you start tattooing, I always say that tattooing shows me, because this is what happened. At 20 years old, I was in my house, I was already tattooed, I was doing nothing, and all of a sudden, like I was working at the time and in an office, an art material place. So I remember one afternoon, like somebody knocks on my door. I opened the door and it's this friend I haven't seen like in 10 years, like my childhood friend, we used to escape to the river to smoke cigarettes and all that. So I see him, he's like super long hair and super tattooed. I'm like, bro, you have tattoos? I have tattoos. And he's like, yeah, bro, I'm tattooing in Boston. I'm like, did you bring your machines with you? And he's like, of course. I'm like, let's go get him. Like, not even a minute. I haven't seen this dude in 10 years. And in less than a minute, we're walking to his house to get the tattoo machines, because I was so desperate just to start, because I knew I had it in me. So we went, looked at the machines. I tattooed myself. Then I just started tattooing him. And I do not come from a rich family. I had a lot of struggle when I was a little kid. So all my friends were in the same place. So we didn't have money for tattoos. So obviously all my friends wanted to get tattooed. They were metalheads and punks and all that. So they encouraged me, like, bro,
Yeah, you have to learn,
because they saw free tattoos in me. So that's how everything started, man. I started tattooing my friends. All of a sudden,
Well, and what year is this? It's probably no YouTube, right?
20 years ago, bro.
Yeah, so there's not even a way to go on YouTube, try to figure it out. You got to find a mentor.
There's no Facebook, bro.
Yeah.
There's no anything at the moment. So I just started taking Polaroids of my friends, and going around the Polaroids. Like, yeah, I tattoo. So I did a little studio in my house. The first 3 months of my career, I spent at my house. No apprenticeship, no anything. I just had my friend that, honestly, like, he wasn't really good, but I didn't know at the time. So,
but he had the machine.
He had the machine, bro, and the inks, and he showed me how to like set up the machine and all that. So that's all I needed, really. So the first 3 months I started working there, the word starts getting out, and the 3 months into it, they offered me a full-time job in a shop in Bayamon, Puerto Rico.
Wow.
So, man, I started from scratch. I remember the first week I did $200. I'm like, what? $200 in a week?
Yeah.
And I saw the opportunity, man, and it was a super hustle, because at first it's super hard to get tattooing, because all tattoos heal super bad, So you're like, how do you? So I figured it out, and I had an epiphany moment at the moment. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna do the best job possible. It doesn't matter if they pay me enough or not, because I need to do this for me. So I remember my first 15-piece portfolio I did for free. I tattooed all my friends, did amazing pieces just to start selling a little bit. So I just started doing my best. I saw the opportunity. I saw not much artists were into it. So, man, I just started rapping. And I remember 8 months into tattooing, I won my first award in the Puerto Rico convention. And from there on, I won every year. I have more than 165 international awards. I just went through that route. I had something to prove. There's
you had a hunger inside of you.
I had a hunger, and also Puerto Rico's like that, man. But Puerto Rico, to get credibility here from Puerto Ricans, it's super hard. So they were like, man, you're good, but I mean, people in the US are better than you. They have techniques that you don't have. I'm like, I have my tattoo machines, I have my inks, I have my hands. They have the same thing. There's no difference. Like, they're like, you won't be better than them. So that's when I had to travel, to because I was winning in Puerto Rico, but they're like, you can't win in the US. So I just went to the best competition in the US. I remember they didn't want to tell me a booth there because you got to be famous to be there.
Oh wow.
So at the time I wasn't. So I went with a friend of mine who was working in New York. He got invited. So I went through that process like I was working for him. And I remember I got in that tattoo convention, I got the biggest two awards. I got best tattoo of the show. You know, that's they do that on Sunday because you got to be working on a piece the whole weekend to compete. I'm saying, bro, I competed with the best of the US, the best of Europe, the best of Japan, the best competition, bro. Like I went to the best one, the first one, and I cleaned it, and I won the best tattoo of the convention. I also won large color. That was like the other one with the big prestige, you know. So man, after that, I mean, I was in all magazines and all of that. I just started traveling a lot and competing, and my style was in trend at the moment. So I started winning everything, bro. So I'm like, you see, man, I'm good enough.
I told you so.
I told you. Yeah, and I think it was a good lesson for Puerto Ricans, you know, because I mean, we have that. I mean, in Puerto Rican things that they like subconsciously think that we're less.
Well, yeah, it's
You know
like
what I mean?
the colonial mindset.
It's an island. It's an
Yeah.
insularistic mindset. You know, it's an island mindset. And I think with my example, they learned, and also with Bad Bunny's example, and all these celebrities, all these people that are repping in the world, that it really doesn't matter where you come from, bro. What matters is the hunger you have.
So number one was the hunger, right? You had this monkey on your back. You had something to prove, right?
Yeah.
But then to circle back, right? Most artists are not as financially and business savvy and as successful as you've become, right?
Yeah.
You've been able to work with Ricky Martin, Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
You now have your own shop with 10 plus artists working under you.
Yep.
You know, hundreds of tattoos being created on a weekly basis, and now you have this NFT project, and you've become very financially successful in a business savviness, right?
Yeah.
So what advice do you have maybe for the starving artist that might be out there? How do you transform your creativity and your talents into a business acumen?
Man, you gotta cover all ground. I mean, being good is just like 10%, 20% of it. So you gotta understand that first of all, you gotta get great at what you do, and that's just first step, you know. Second step, you gotta got good relations with the scene you wanna like get into. You know,
Provide value, right?
You need to provide value. You need to climb the ladder, man. You know, with and get to know everybody and get to be known. You know, it doesn't pay if you're good but nobody knows about you. So you also gotta work great on your marketing, man. Because that, for example, what happened to me when I won my first international award before the convention I told you about that I went there, I competed in one that I didn't go because I couldn't get there, but the client did. He flew there, he put his piece into competition, and he won. And I remember I won that. It was medium color, my first big award. And he called me like, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "Yeah, you won, bro." Like, what? And I won. And I'm sitting here in Bayamon with no clients. 2 weeks, everybody canceled. I'm like, poor. No, that you can be the world champion, but if nobody knows you're the world champion, it doesn't work for anything. So then I got introduced to social media. I was one of the first Puerto Rican tattoo artists that did the whole social media thing. I remember I got super criticized at first. When I started promoting on social media, I said, don't do that. You're commercializing yourself. I'm like, bro, are you going to tell my story? You're not going to tell my story. I got to tell my own story, you know? Yeah. So I saw how hard it was to get into different platforms. So I just thought, I'm just going to build mine. You know, I'm just going to build my client base, and I'm gonna have my own platform, you know?
Yeah, so now you've accumulated over 250,000 followers on Instagram. Was that the first platform that you focused on?
I got right now 386,000 on Instagram. I had 350,000 on Facebook. I got like 9,000 on Twitter. I got a couple of more accounts. I got my shops account that has like 50,000. So I got a couple. But also I hustled my way a little bit in the newspapers and the tattoo magazines. So at the time, tattoo magazines were the only thing you had. you know, because not even Facebook was really available at the moment. So what I did is, I mean, the magazines had like a address you could send your pictures to, right? But I thought, man, everybody sends pictures here, you know. So I'm like, how can I get the pictures to somebody in a bigger level? So I just go through the magazine. I saw in the end they have like the editor, the publisher, and all of them have their emails there. I'm like, I have the editor's email, man. I'm just gonna write him an email, and because I knew my work was good,
Yeah.
so I knew, man, if he sees it, they publish me, you know. So I just hustled, bro. I sent to all the major magazines at the same time, and I remember when I went to Borders, I had 3 articles in the top 3 tattoo magazines in the world at the same time, bro.
Wow.
And I orchestrated that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So then I understood. You know, like you gotta combine your artwork with your hustle. If it's not enough to be good, you can be the best. It's not enough, man. You know. So that would be my advice. You know, cover the whole ground. Get great at tattooing. The art you're gonna do. Get great first, because if you don't get great, then you're gonna
Well, yeah,
lose your money marketing.
There's a lot of people that do the opposite. They're not
Yeah.
good yet, and they want to do marketing. It's like, wait,
Exactly.
you're not good yet. Don't market yourself yet. Work
Yeah.
on your craft.
Be
And
great.
then once you're great, then put yourself
Yeah.
out there. Right?
Be great. Compete. You know, there's people. Oh, I don't compete, man. You need to compete. You need street cred. You
Yeah.
need it, bro. I mean, how can you say you're the best if you haven't competed with the best and beat them? So work on that. Be great. Be in a competition level that you know that you're like up there with the top 10 in what you do. After you have that covered, work on your marketing. You know, it doesn't pay to market a product that's not ready.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just finished up this crazy viral campaign for Bad Bunny's
Yes.
album release. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man.
Where did the concept, the idea come from?
So I mean, I remember I was going through Instagram and I saw that Bad Bunny and his crew got the tattoo of the cover art. You know, so obviously I'm a tattoo artist, so I'm like, how can I integrate in this? You know, because if they're already polishing tattoos, they should like exploit it a little bit more. You know, because it works. Then I remember I do an activity in my shop called the Day of the Dead Tattoo Party, and it's basically a day where tattoos are $60, and we promote it like crazy, and we get a super line outside, and you know it's a whole media frenzy thing. So I'm like, the light bulb turned on. I'm like, huh. I wonder if we can do the same party but for Bad Bunny's album release, you know. And I had the luck that my manager Jeff, he had the direct contact of Noah, Bad Bunny's manager. So we had a great idea in our hands. So like it took a minute. I'm like, wow, imagine this. He's like, give me a minute. He pitched the idea to Noah, and less than a minute we're approved. I'm like, it's done. So we wanted to do it for 2 weeks notice, but then Bad Bunny. Personally, he was like he loved the idea so much, but they're fair believers in momentum. You know, that's why they're so successful, because it's a religion for them, momentum. So he's like, you gotta do it, but you gotta do it in 48 hours. I'm like, man, it's a crazy, bro. 150 tattoos, 11 artists, you know, a whole shop to deal with that, security to deal with the line, water, food, marketing, all of that in 48 hours. So, but man, we did great. I mean, organically, it wasn't one of the best experiences I've had in my life, man. Seriously.
So now there's 150 people in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny's album art.
Even more, because we started the trend, but right now in Miami they did the same thing. So now add 150 in Miami.
Oh wow,
that's only 300 free tattoos. Imagine all the people that are already paying for it. You know, the ripple effect was so big that I have friends that are teachers in schools, and they tell me, bro, my students are like doing the heart with markers on their skin in the school. So it's a huge impact.
Yeah, that's influence. That's real influence when you plant that seed and now it starts growing and spreading.
Exactly. That's why I think that Bad Bunny endorsed the idea, because he knew the potential. I mean, they're super smart people, you know, so they're like, promotion for free basically in people that are gonna have it permanent on their body
for the rest of their life.
It's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. I would say yes, you know, anytime of the day. So yeah, man, it was really, really cool project. I loved it.
Incredible. So now let's talk a little bit about your NFT project.
Cool.
Where was the inspiration for the NFT project, and how did you get into NFTs just to begin with?
So I tattoo a lot of people, you know, and from these people I tattoo, there's a couple of them that are like expert crypto traders and all that. So I mean, they always talk to me about crypto. Like I am not a trader. I wouldn't call myself that, but I know a little bit because obviously we spend a lot of hours tattooing, you know. So I mean, they started making me interested in crypto first, and all of a sudden, like I always found it a little bit confusing for me. But then they showed me the NFT concept, you know, at first. So I mean, it blew my mind that a lot of people were paying like a lot of money for this animations or JPEGs and all of that. So I started getting into it. I started learning about the blockchain and all of that, and I myself understood the value. You know, there's people that simply don't get it because I don't know, they're the government just control their brains and they don't understand that we create the value, but what we do. So I mean, the whole concept blew my mind. And first of all, I wanted to do a big collection, but at the moment it was like a dream far away, you know, because you need a big whole team to do that. So I started doing a one of one. So I am not a computer animator. I'm just an artist and a concept creator, but I don't animate. So what I did is I was a creative director of this first piece. So basically, I employed this company that they do like commercials for Sprite and all that animation. You know, I look in the portfolio. I'm like, they're pretty good, and I called them, and they didn't even heard about the NFT concept, bro. I'm like, it's a I mean, you're animators. So I explained them a little bit. They're like, okay. So I basically did a 2D version, and we had a back and forth. You know, it cost me like $7,000 to have this animation made.
Oh wow.
So it really was an investment. You know, to only to test the waters because I didn't even know like if you could sell it. You know, so I created this art. I loved it. I think the animation was really in tune with what my art is. You know, I see a lot of artists that their animations are not even close to their style, so it doesn't make sense. You know, but I did it. It was super nerve wracking when I put it for sale basically, and I made it in an auction. So I did it for 5 days basically, and the first 4 days, bro, nobody beat it. So I was super scared,
Wow.
man. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna like pretend this didn't happen. I'm gonna post a tattoo tomorrow. I just lost $7,000. I don't care. But in the last 45 minutes, a video game company from here bought it at 7.5 Ethereum, bro. I'm like,
Wow.
so for me, it was mind blowing because it was my first NFT, you know. And I'm pretty known in the island, and I'm pretty known for being the first step, for doing the, how do you call that, the breakthrough guy. I'm the like nobody is gonna touch NFTs. We're gonna wait till Juan does it to see what happens. So I knew I had a lot of weight in my back because a lot of NFT projects are waiting for me to have success so they can enter the market as well. So for me, man, it was a celebration, man. When I sold it, I mean, all the media posted here, and I gave like some hope to artists here. So it's bigger than just selling my NFT. It was like the first hopeful project in Puerto Rico.
Definitely. And then, so you sold it for 7.5 Ethereum. So it's around at that point, the price of Ethereum, like around $25,000.
No, $32,000.
32,000. So you turned the $7,000 investment plus your art, right? Your work. So you basically like four extra money, your investment. But more important than that, you proved out that no, successful NFTs can be launched from the island.
Exactly. And I think everybody took it like that. I remember I did it a couple of days before the Metaverso. It's a project that G Money does.
Yeah, during the crypto week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he did it in the museum, and when I got there, I was a rock star, bro. Everybody was like, bro, like the guy that sold the $32,000 NFT. I'm like, what? So it was really good, man. I love how happy everybody was with it. You know, everybody was hopeful because everybody thought NFTs were fake. That's a scam. You know, all of a sudden, like this dude's making money, this dude's making money. All of a sudden, like somebody from Puerto Rico is making money.
Yeah,
they're like crazy, man. So
well, that's part of the controversy here in Puerto Rico locally. Is there's a lot of like crypto expats that are moving to the island for the tax incentives as part of it. Plus, Puerto Rico is beautiful. But a lot of them are moving to the island, and there's a lot of animosity saying, "Hey, these people are not good for the island. They're the only ones that are making money."
Yeah.
Right? What are your feelings on how the existing ecosystem of locals who are interested in the space are mixing and cohabitating with these foreigners that are basically moving to the island?
It's a gray area, man. Right now, I wish that we had more collaborations happening, but there's a divide that I'm seeing. I'm pretty sure it's because it's a new concept. I think it's gonna get better. I think I'm helping with that, but I'm not pretty sure if those people are like actually looking at the talent in the island. You know what I mean? So, but in my personal opinion, they know who I am. They gave props to me. So I mean, in my personal opinion, it's good. But I wish there was like more collaborations, more incentive for art for island for artists of the island.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, and we need to build more roads and more connections.
Definitely,
'Cause
definitely.
I-
The forums need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. When I did my collection, I wanted to promote in a couple of forums. Like I don't know if I should mention names, but there's a couple of forums out there that are pretty known for NFTs,
Mm,
and they have no Latino artists,
really?
no one. And I
You got to tell me the names off camera.
yeah, I sent emails, bro, and like not even no, I'm not even good enough for an answer. You know what I mean? I'm like. So if we don't fix that, I'm gonna tell this to the world. If we don't fix the forum problem, NFTs are not gonna be a popular concept. We need to all work together. Right now, it's in baby steps. We need to all get together and make the concept work, so we can create an economy out of it. Because if we don't have wallets, you know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna sell NFTs? Like right now, in the collection I recently made, 80% of the holders created their wallet for this NFT.
Wow.
So that's how you do
powerful.
it. That's how you do it. I knew.
Yeah, you're pushing adoption.
I knew I had the machete in my hand. I need to like cut the grass because I'm new here. But that's the feeling and how I want the forums to also have that hunger and understand we all have the machete in our hands. We need to pave the ground, and because if not, I mean, NFTs, the NFT concept, I think at the moment should be even more popular. It is not because of the niche problem that the forums have.
Well, I've said this multiple times on social media publicly. I feel 99% of NFTs are scams.
Okay.
99% are scams.
Yeah.
And it's the 1%, like projects like yours, that are backed by real people who are completely doxxed, real business owners who are real artists and are actually out there creating something of value. And like when I invest into an NFT project, I'm not only investing in the art, I'm investing in the founders. I'm investing in the people behind it, right? But if you look at, OpenSea, you'll see a bunch of these anonymous projects where it's, the grandpa apes or these copycat wannabe bored apes or copycat wannabe crypto punks, and there's no team behind it. It's literally just a cash grab. So when I do bet on projects, I bet on the founders and the team behind it.
Of course.
And that's what attracted me to your project. I was like, wow.
That's why I put my name in the line for it, because I needed people to understand that it was legit. I mean, you have a person to point if you want to. You know what I mean? So what better than that?
So let's talk a little bit about the NFT itself. So what are the utilities that are involved with it, and how does it work?
So my first NFT, the one of one I was telling you about, I put a utility in it. I gave a free tattoo setting to anyone that bought it. So after that, I did my second NFT, and it was a test. Basically, I did a 2D iPad design. I do it in Procreate. I minted it as an NFT, and it sold in $5,500. My second NFT. And after that, I meet the programmers, the people from Neftify and Outlaw, and we had the idea of creating a collection of 5,000 unique NFTs. And for the first time, I see it as a reality because Outlaw is an expert in the randomization, and Neftify is an expert in smart contracts and websites. And I'm like, perfect. We have,
and they're both local companies.
They're both local.
That's
I mean, they're together right now. Like Outlaw now works with Neftify. So they consolidated.
That's great.
So I mean, it was really with their help that I created this 5,000 unique skulls. And
Yeah, it's called the Tattoo Skull Society.
the Tattoo Skulls
Izzy will put the
Society.
link somewhere up down.
Awesome. So I mean, I created this community, this collection to start a community. So I wanted to create an artist community that would grow, and in the future, I mean, we started with my collection, but in the future, we can feature other artists' collection in the same one. So I mean, I gave a couple of utilities because obviously I was noticing that there are a lot of collections that had no utilities, and a lot of people are find hard to give value just to the art. So I wanted to make people feel and understand that they were paying for something that was worth more than they were paying for. So I created the collection. The main price is 0.08, and the utilities. We have a couple of utilities, but the most important ones is that you're gonna be able to participate in giveaways, like every month, every given month, or every given activity or whatever. We're basically be giving away tattoos, VIP tattoo sittings, art prints, original art, drawings, and all of that. We're also working on a couple of in real lives. The like the Bad Bunny tattoo party. We're gonna do one for the skulls. That's gonna be our next in real life. So
Very
yeah, we're also that wait, I lost the line. uh
Don't worry, he knows how to edit.
I know.
I bought the NFT for the party. There's gonna be a really cool people there. I bought two in case I want to invite somebody. Send me my NFT back.
So yeah, right now I'm planning to to do something with because there's people that have more than one, right? But we get a mint a limit of 22. So right now I'm planning to give away things to people who have 10 or more and stuff like that.
Yeah. So some projects they'll call it like whale status. So hey, if you got 10 of them, you're considered a whale, and then you get this other utility, or you get certain access at certain events,
Exactly.
parties, networking, etc.
So yeah, that would be. I mean, the for me, like the most attractive utilities is the giveaways and also the accesses for the parties. So for example, we're gonna do also probably a big party in August, and we're gonna have like superstars, like probably like Mora or this like amazing urban artists. So they're gonna be great parties, man.
Very
Seriously.
cool. Very cool.
And also there's, I mean, this is just the beginning. I mean, the collection is actually evolving right now. We have a video game, a play to earn.
Really?
That's coming on the way. We're also like collaborating with a couple of other collections. We're gonna have like hybrids from collections, and those hybrids are gonna give you like other accesses. We're gonna do some crazy stuff. You'll check it out.
Very cool.
Our next project, bro. I mean, it's gonna be news. I tell you.
Yeah, Latinos in the metaverse. Latinos taking over the metaverse.
Yeah, man.
It's incredible. Well, so that's something that I wanted to talk to you about, is doing an activation for your project at the upcoming Disrupt event.
Nice.
I would love to freaking give some tickets away to your community.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, for sure.
And add that to the utility.
They're gonna love it, man. We haven't had it in real life still. We've been up for 2 months and a half, I think, something like that, and they're dying for that, bro. So, man, when we have our first in real life, man, they're gonna love it. Seriously, we have a really active community. It's a community of over 2,000 people right now, and they're super active, man. And they're super into it. So, I mean, I feel a responsibility to them too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think the next step, and I was speaking to your manager a little bit about this, is like, now how do we get the project from the 2,000 Latinos who own it right here in Puerto Rico, and now how do we make it go worldwide?
Nice.
How do we get in front of more people? So one of the other upcoming events, besides the Disrupt event that's next at the end of this month, is the month after, is NFT NYC.
Nice.
So we're working on an event, and the venue for this space all the walls are made out of LCD screens. So it's literally
Wow.
like you can
Crazy.
do the possibilities are endless. So I'm working with the event coordinator on that to see what kind of like crazy experience that we can create.
Yeah, man, awesome.
But we need to get it in front of the mainstream. There was actually a big criticism on Twitter a few weeks back because the Bored Ape Yacht Club, as an example, quote unquote, doesn't really have any female characters, and even the quote female character, it's not really a female character. So there was a whole controversy that spread around it. They even started saying that like Bored Ape Yacht Club was stealing culture, right?
Wow.
Because if you think they're having gold chains and they have hats, and it's like it's kind of like hip hop culture, but it's a bunch of white guys that started it.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, these guys are making billions of dollars from hip hop culture.
Yeah.
But where's the give back, right? So they were even calling it cultural appropriation.
Wow.
I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with those statements, but there was a huge controversy, a huge uproaring on Twitter. And the main thesis was that there isn't enough diversity, there isn't enough representation in the space, and that Blacks and Latinos and women that want to enter the space, they actually feel alienated. They feel like, wait, maybe that's not for me, right?
Yeah.
What do you think we can do to bridge that gap?
I mean, include. I mean, that what I was saying earlier, man. I think forums should do their work. I mean, it's tiring to see apes and CryptoPunks, apes and CryptoPunks, apes and CryptoPunks. Like no one else is doing anything better. Like I myself, my collection has better utilities than most. Seriously, but I just need people to know about it. Like right now, we just gave the rights of your NFT. So if you own a skull, you can use it in merch,
commerce. Oh, that's
and
cool.
all that, because we had an expansive license, so everybody can use their NFT to do merch or whatever. I mean, right now I'm actually launching my first cannabis flower. It's called Laser Beams, and the art for the packet is one of my skulls. So I started with that. I'm going to use it as an example so the community can see the possibilities. You know what I mean? And it's super genius because, I mean, you already have a product that everybody knows about, So the skulls are super hyped up right now. So you have half of the battle already won.
Yeah, you could start a restaurant, a bar, a nightclub, t-shirts, merch.
And you already got a community that you can tell them about it, and they just diffuse the information, So I mean, it's super beneficial, but it's something that it's still in diapers, We just gotta like work on it so people understand the concept more, and get it out there, man. Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, that was my idea, that telling you about the forums. Like, obviously, I have a global mindset, all the time. So, but I mean, the forums got to do the work.
Definitely.
Seriously.
So I know,
forums, get to it.
yeah. The community needs to open those conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
So Juan, I know that we're running low on time, but I have one last question that I ask to all my guests.
Okay.
And that is, what does disrupt mean to you?
Disrupted? I mean, it depends, man. I mean, how can I?
Just think about it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
He's gonna cut. He's gonna cut. So the funny thing, so the word disrupt, if you put it into like Google Translate, right, it's gonna say to interrupt. Right?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't want to make it sound negative.
Yeah. But in the entrepreneurial culture, the word kind of has a little bit of a different meaning, right? Because it's more to like change the way things have always been done for something better, right? So like Uber disrupted the taxi industry and they did it better.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I was thinking. Like disrupted means like just interrupt your old way of thinking, and be open to the new mindset.
I love
basically,
it.
Yeah.
Juan, thank you so much for coming on the show. If people want to follow you on social media, where's the best place to do it?
Yeah, Instagram right now is one of my main. So it's Juan_Salgado. You can go to Twitter for all my NFT crypto related content. It's Juan Salgado Art.
Awesome. Juan,
if not, you go on Google and put Juan Salgado Art, Juan Salgado Tattoos, and you're gonna see my name all over that.
Or you can go to Calle Loiza to the shop.
Exactly. You can go to Calle Loiza, and that's my headquarters there in Santurce.
Amazing. Juan, thank you so
brother.
much. And and Juan is going to be speaking May 27th. So if you're in
Yeah.
Puerto Rico on May 27th at the Puerto Rico Convention Center, then make sure that you come. And it is free for all of the skull holders.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is be a holder of the Tattoo Skull Project. Juan, thank you so much again for being on the show, my friend. And thank you for everything that you're doing for the crypto community here in Puerto Rico.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, guys, stay there. We're gonna take a photo.
You're going to do a photo? For the cover or whatever.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Another one. Okay. Perfect.
Cool.
Bet. Okay.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
You got energy for one more in Spanish?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nada más.
Hey, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
Ay, ¿cómo está todo?
This one, Juan,
Great,
esta que vamos a hacer en español es más corta porque nos vamos a ir más técnicos con lo de los NFT. Javier, más enfocado en el proyecto y eso.
Ok, vale. Sí, es que el inglés a mí me parece. Yo hablo, parece que hablo bien, pero yo estoy traduciendo todo a veces me trago. Ah, ok.
Ya, es cuestión de
Te
historia, pues, ya la
pregunto
contamos.
lo de disrupt, estás aquí como que eso es lo que tú has hecho desde que te introduciste
Claro.
allá a la confesión aquella que tú hablas, tú que you are disrupting.
Exacto.
You have been disrupting. Además, desde high school,
You've been disrupting a long time ago.
Sí, pero yo tenía eso, ese es el concepto que tenía en mente, pero no quería cometer un error, ¿me entiendes? O estaba como que, mira, vamos a aclararlo por si acaso. Porque eso es lo que lo mismo que dije lo que iba a decir, pero no sabía si es lo que él quería escuchar o, tú sabes.
No, pero queda excelente.
Súper.
El audio se escucha bien, déjame un momentito aquí.
¿El aire está bajito o soy yo?
Déjame prenderlo,
Yo estaba bien sudado ahí.
que se me mete por los micrófonos.
Ya.
Pero déjame prenderlo un momentito.
Para darle que eche un poquito de fresco, nos enfríe un poquito y
Sí.
sí, mano, yo creo que este tema de los NFTs yo llevo siguiéndolo de hecho antes de que se hicieran, yo trabajo con una compañía también de un startup accelerator, un fondo de
Ok.
inversión